welcome to another episode of Ron's O-Gauge Train Journey. Okay, putting the track together. We have 3 in the middle, 2 curves, center, straight, another straight over there, and this is how they all go together. Those pins slide in to the holes, and then they should go tight. That is not tight, so we got to get tight and push them together. So they're tight like that, or tighter. All right. And then it all goes together all around like that. It only has the pins on one side, so you can't put them in wrong. Cleaning the track, which you might need to do seasonal or if it gets moist or stuff. You want to use, and this is odd, you want to crumble up aluminum foil and then rub it across the top of the rails. That will clean up anything, stuff that has gotten on there, and any pits or stuff, it will fill it in. This is the track power clip. 2 pieces. This rests against one rail and this hooks on to the middle. So when you lift it up, I'm trying to do that. Right. Slide it in. Let's see. Like that. That's probably close enough. That fits there. And then this part right here slides over top of this part. You just lift it up. And that gets, the outside is the common or ground, and the middle is the power. Common thing that people ask is kids in danger touching it. They're not gonna cause any problem. They're not gonna get any voltage through it unless they're holding something that's metal, and then they go across, then there's a short. It's still not like touching a outlet. So that's how that goes. And then to release it, you just flip the center rail and it will just flop down. The piece I forgot to say, if these are tight and hard to push in, that's a good thing. It means it's making good connection. So just give it good push and it'll get there. And sometimes you have to be patient. It'll get in there, and you don't want to lubricate it or anything like that. That's not a good thing for the electrical connection. All right, this is a quick little primer on the transformer. I've got 2 different kinds here. This one has just two to attach to. If you take off the nuts, you can take the wires off. It doesn't matter which one goes on which. This one, there are 4, and it is clearly marked to track, to accessories. This one, this is off. You slide it forward to the fastest, and that's it. This one here has some more legible markings, and this is off, and again this goes up to high. That is all with that. Pretty basic. I'm gonna stop. All right, some of the trains you have will have front trucks and rear trucks. And so what you need to do is line up all those trucks on the rail, and then roll it like that to make sure that it goes. Next, you get the tender. And the tender has a coal piece, and that part goes closest to the train. Now, there is a tab in the slot, and the tab is in the slot. Same thing with the cars. Some of them you will see have tabs that slide in and out, and some are riveted on the bottom. Either way, they have a tab and slot. And what you do is you put the one you're joining on top of the one that was previous. And then you get it on the rail. And then you keep on going, adding one after another until you get the caboose. Caboose only has one tap and slot, so you can't get that one on wrong. I do recommend that you have a power outlet that you can turn off and that you don't leave it on at all. You always turn it off at the outlet or unplug it, even if it's off. Just good practice. Now, any train engine might spark on the wheels when it's going. That's not a problem. Sometimes that happens after you've had it in a box for a season and there's oxidation on the wheels. See the video about how to get that off, and you might have to also go over the track a little bit and clean that up. But it's not a bad idea to not put this down on carpet just because the fibers get up in the motor anyway, but have something, even a cardboard over the carpet would do, or a thin piece of wood, backer board or something like that would be great, about the right size. That's how that goes. Now, one of the things about Marx motors is when you hit the power, it will want to go backwards. So you want to power it on and then power it back on, and that will make it go forward. There are times when it's not going forward that you have to go and you just tap it with your knuckles on top, back, forward, to get it going. Just like that. A quick little how-to, because I know it sounds a little weird. Cleaning the track. Piece of foil, rub it across the bottom, the top of it. Back and forth, you'll see the rails shine up. And that's what you do. The only other thing that you might need to do with that is if the clips, the pins get oxidized, you might need to clean those up a little bit. Just that you can do with a little sandpaper, but put sandpaper on top of this. Try it again. Some maintenance that you have to do if you don't run it regularly, and say you only pull it out once a year. The wheels on either side, right on the outside parts, can get also lose connection, and they will spark more on the rails. So if you see a lot of sparking, it's because the connectivity there is a problem. So what you do with that is you get a simple green scrubber and you scrub just along the outside of that, and you just rotate the wheel like that while you're scrubbing just this part right here between the ridge and the outside thing. Lubrication, and I use this to lubricate. This is lightweight motor oil that I use in there. People have used sewing machine oil. It's got to be a light oil. And if that doesn't work, you don't have what I have. I have a nurse as a daughter, so I can get what I need. Just dipping a toothpick into the oil, and then you will get some in the spots where I tell you. You don't ever want a lot, you just want a little bit. And the spots where you do it, on the gear, in the center of the gear, right here and right here, is good. And then on the other side, right in the middle here, the shaft for the armature is right here, and that's where you put that, another piece, just to drop. On the wheels, if they're squealing, we might do that. But again, you can always call me up for any of this and say, Mr. Boyd, we need a tune-up. All right. I'll do this on the car, but it goes for all wheels. Again, you just rub it in between, and then just a little bit on that, on this side of the axle. So boom, boom, on all the axles. Not on the outside, because you get oil on the paint and stuff, but inside here, between the wheel and the ridge, and then right there where that hole is. And that is that. Then I have a bigger one of these, and this, believe it or not, has a common grease, and that, again, you just put a little bit of that on the outside of the gear here, just running it along here, and a little bit on there, and then you rotate it and you get it all in. You don't need a lot. And this is Vaseline. So I just use a little bit of that, and that's the only place where you put Vaseline is on the gears. And again, you don't have to do it. I can do it, and the other way you can do it is just taking a little bit of on a toothpick. If you have a engine that does steam, and this one is one, this is in the notes. It's called Mega Steam. And it sells for about $6.25. You can get it online. What you do is you put maybe about 5 drops. Put it in here, and you just look and see. I'm almost out. But you also don't know if somebody's going to be bothered by the smell. And if they smoke good, they tend to smoke real well. So